we were so concerned about what was happening in Maui that we were texting back and forth. And I read this article that Dolly Parton had given money in her community. And I said, I think this is the answer. You said, I think that's the answer.
I said, I love it.
And so.
Okay, you guys, we're going to pause and I'm going to drop this clip in regards to Dolly Parton and how they're trying to act like what they're doing is the same as what she did, in which it's definitely not. Take a look at this.
Son Will sent me an article about Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton in 2017 during the wildfires in Gatlinburg started a people's fund. She called it My People's Fund. She had a concert. She raised $12.5 million and then directly gave it to the people, $1,000 a month.
Let's pause right there. Now, that was a really serious time. And what she did was have a concert, which she would normally do. As an artist, you're able to create art. People can come watch it. They can consume it. They can purchase it, whatever it is. Now, normally, Dolly would just do a concert and put that money into her own pocket, put it into her businesses, or whatever she wants to do with it. Normally, she wouldn't just give all the money away. Normally, she would not just put the money into a fund, but that's what she did here. See, that, in my opinion, was not criticized as heavily because she didn't just ask people, hey, can you give me $1, $10? She did something that generates revenue and then gave all the money away. That's not what you guys did. So I understand the attempt at a correlation, but I don't think it's the same thing. You're just asking me for money. You're not doing anything necessarily to get my money, the same way Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton did something to get money from people. She put on the concert. She put on the show. A thing that everybody always pays for, a thing that everybody always does. She did that. Here's an example, Oprah. I'm not sure if she has any stake in movies. Now she has a TV show or whatever. But, and The Rock the same way. Okay, The Rock, if you're going to do a new movie, you get paid X amount of money, and you take the money you would get from the movie and then give it to Maui. That's the equivalent of what Dolly Parton did. But I digress.
So we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui. We guarantee.
That's right. I know a lot of people out there, as Oprah and I have been finding, are just having a hard time trusting where the money goes. What organizations should I send money to? How can I help? In this case, the fund that we created with a lot of hard work from a lot of hardworking people who all care about these people of Maui, as Oprah was saying, it is a clean, direct from you, directly to their hands, and right away with some real immediacy, because as we're finding, as you guys around the world know, with disasters like this, the number one need is money.
Is money. Is money.
In hand.
And so people being able to have their own agency, being able to make decisions for themselves about what they need and what their family needs, that's our goal, is to get that to the people now. And so we appreciate any support that you can give. All the people who were calling me and texting me and messaging me and saying, what do I do? What do I do? This is what you do.
You know.
The People's Fund of Maui.
I don't think people understand how much property Oprah actually owns on the island.
Oprah and The Rock, they decided they're going to start themselves a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, to help the people of Maui, right? And to get it started, they both decide we're going to put in $5 million apiece, $10 million in total, just to start it. And then they go to the public and ask for the rest. And then you realize, oh, by the way, they're going to get their $5 million back. Why? Because it's a charitable donation and they get to write it all off, right? So then what happens to the rest of the money? Well, in a nonprofit, right, a 501c3, only about 35% actually goes towards the thing you're trying to fund. The other 65% is pocketed by the organization in order to keep the organization going, i.e. back into Oprah and The Rock's pockets, right? So basically they did a good faith gesture to write themselves a blank check later. And it's not just by the people who donated. It's also by the U.S. government. Why? Because the U.S. government pledged $95 million to the people of Maui, right? And when they pledge money like that, they don't just go around handing it out to people. No, they hand that money to the organizations working in that area, right? The very first organizations to get their money are the non-profits. So all they have to do is apply for the money and they will get it. Now, I'm not sure how much they can get out of the 95 million, but because it has their names attached to it, is going to be quite a substantial amount. So again, a good faith gesture to write themselves a blank check later. Now, the reason I stitched this video is because in the video, the guy says, well, Oprah has about 1,000 acres of land. By my research, it's a lot more. It's 1,870 acres of land. But when you go back into any of the interviews where she's talking about it, she makes it a point to say that it's a farm, it's a ranch, right? That's very important. Why? Because things classified as farms or ranches pay significantly less taxes. But also, the second group of people to receive money whenever there's a huge donation for like a disaster like that, small businesses, okay? Guess what a farm constitutes in America? A small business. So again, Oprah gets to write herself a blank check based on 1,000 acres of farm. Okay, mind you, she grows like beets and turnips and shit like that. It's not really anything that's going to catch fire per se, and not even that her property was near it. But she's eligible for that money, and because of who she is, she will most definitely get it. Okay, that's 3 times Oprah pocketed money off this disaster.